The gaming industry was starting to come back. New developers were stepping into the ring with creative and unique ideas. Ideas that would change the way video games would be viewed. The year 2005.
Happy 2005!
You want to be scared so much that you drop your controller on your foot at 3 a.m.?
Resident Evil 4.
Feeling like doing a bit of crime?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In stores Tuesday on PlayStation 2. Rated M for mature.
Prepared to pet a dog? Nintendogs. There was also Doom 3 where you hunt demons or something. I don't know. I played Sly 3 and liked swinging the cane around because of the noise it made.
Soprano, alto, alto, soprano.
Yep. Okay, I guess you're the relief shift. Thanks for coming early. I got a big plans for tonight. Carnivale, good times, eh?
2005 isn't necessarily a thrilling year in gaming, but it didn't disappoint either. It's amazing to me still to think of where games came from. 2005 isn't necessarily a thrilling game in gaming. Oh my god. 2005 isn't necessarily a thrilling year in gaming, but it didn't disappoint either. It's amazing to me still to think of where games came from and where they are now. Between the late 1990s and early 2000s, video games went through a major shift. I mean, look at the Mario franchise. What started as an arcade game and 2D scroller quickly became a character for everyone. Super Mario 64, Sunshine, The Thousand Year Door, Galaxy, and those are games that came out between 1996 and 2007. As time went on, these games remained in people's memories. Those who played the games experienced new stories and are able to hold on to those memories. Those who didn't play them were only left to wonder what it must have felt like to play them. Or watch YouTube videos of them like I did.
You pokey little flab biscuit? Oh, you're on!
As more time went on, it seemed like these games would eventually be forgotten. That was, until one game developer had an idea. What if we took this game and pushed it somewhere else?
Push! Push!
That's right, we're talking about remakes today. Listen, I'm not going to bore you with the details of remakes. Personally, I don't mind when games get remade. If anything, I look forward to when a game is remade or remastered. It gives players like myself the opportunity to play these games in ways that we wouldn't have been able to in the past. Recently, I completed 2 games that I've been meaning to play in the past, but just haven't been able to. And I think they capture my viewpoints on the pros and cons of remakes overall. Final Fantasy VII and Shadow of the Colossus. Before I go on, I just want to take a quick poll. So, if you are a Final Fantasy VII fan more than a Shadow of the Colossus fan, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? It's free and you can always change your mind. I'd be happy, I'll give you a high five, and you don't have to worry about doing it again. My Shadow of the Colossus fans, if you subscribe, I'll do all of that, but I'll also throw in a fist bump. Alright, we're all good, the button's gray now. If it's not, please fix that. Good. Now then, let's talk about remakes and how nostalgia plays a negative role in them. Final Fantasy VII... Calm down, please. Calm down. Final Fantasy VII stands out in the video game world for so many reasons that it deserves a video of its own. Not only does it have incredible visual effects and art that I've never seen in any game before, but it also has enjoyable characters, a wonderful villain, and incredible music. I haven't played the original Final Fantasy VII game, but I've heard so many people talk about how they enjoy both versions of the games. The original version of Final Fantasy VII is actually available on modern platforms now, which is a blessing for everyone. If you haven't played either version of this game yet, I highly recommend that you do. Even if it's your first time playing a Final Fantasy style game, I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, as I said earlier, remakes and remasters allow people to play a game that they wouldn't have had the opportunity to have, but it also allows the team behind the games to include elements that they missed out on in the original version. Not only are the graphics improved, because yeah, they are, but the story has also been well expanded upon. The game is split into different parts, and quick side note, I'm really looking forward to the next part coming out. When's it coming out? I'll be patient. I won't like it. I'll be patient. This first part that's already out did an incredible job in building a world that, while fantastical, was still believable and enjoyable to explore. Here's what makes me view this game as a remake done right. Before starting the game, I looked over the reviews. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't, you should come up with your own judgments. Maybe that'll be another video, but for the time being, that's how I go about finding my games that I want to play. I've played Final Fantasy games in the past, such as 14, but this is the Final Fantasy game. I knew it would be good, but did people enjoy the game if they hadn't played it before? The answer is yes. The answer was very much yes. A lot of people seem to really enjoy this game. The reviews on screen are just a few that I could find, but they all say just about the same thing. The game is good. Those who hadn't played the original game enjoyed this one, and those who have played the original in their childhood also enjoyed it. Of course, some reviews do discuss how
this game wasn't like the one I played when I was a kid.
This is where I think we have to understand the difference between a game being good because it's good, and a game being good because of nostalgia, or because we want it to be good. I have no nostalgic connection with the game, but I still really enjoyed it. Others in a similar spot to me appear to feel the same way. The nostalgia does play a role here, but it doesn't change the way the game is viewed. The game's good. And many of the reviews also reflected this. People who have played the game in the past on the original systems that they came out on honestly enjoyed the game, and they even enjoyed this new remake. Those who haven't played it, and this was their first time playing Final Fantasy VII with the remake, enjoyed it just about the same. You know what that means. It's time for the trivia part of the show! Given that Jared just went on about how good Final Fantasy VII is as a remake, what do you think his opinion is of Shadow of the Colossus? Write your answers in the comments down. Don't do that, we all know the answer. Look, I know a lot of people enjoy Shadow of the Colossus. I actually first heard about this game through one of Jacksepticeye's videos. He mentioned that it's one of his favorite video games of all time, and has played through it multiple times. I looked it up and saw that many people were in love with this game. I decided I'd try it for myself, and after beating it, I've come to the conclusion that the game is... The opening of the game is one of the best that I've seen in years. I love it when a game can capture my attention without any dialogue at all. The game itself looks incredible, the bosses are enjoyable, and I had a fun time playing it. The only downside is that my favorite parts of the game took up maybe 30% of my playtime. The rest of the game was spent doing this. It was quiet, hard to move. I found myself bored more than I thought I would be. Still, I saw the reviews. I heard Jack say he enjoyed it. I figured I was missing something. I had to complete the game. Had to. For Jack.
Top of the morning, you ladies! My name is Jacksepticeye and welcome! Finally, to the Shadow of the Colossus remake!
I traveled the map, I explored the ruins, I watched the ending, and was just left bored. I didn't understand the hype behind the game. The game is purely a boss rush kind of game. Not my cup of tea, but I do understand some people enjoy that. I'll make a video where I go more in depth as to my thoughts behind the game, but overall, I personally just wasn't a fan. I re-looked at the reviews behind the game after beating it, and found my answer as to where the high ratings are coming from: nostalgia. The reviews all talk about the enjoyment the players had while revisiting their favorite game as a kid. Many talk about how they remember traveling the land and defeating the Colossi, but few actually talk about the game itself. The nostalgia and memories that the game bring back are the main reasons as to why the players enjoy the game. Those who didn't originally play the game seem to give it around 3 stars, which is also where my rating is. The game itself is relatively confusing plot-wise, the controls are hard to control, and I feel like I didn't get the same experience as everyone who originally played the game. Nostalgia is a feeling that game makers try to capture when remaking a game, especially one that is well beloved. Unfortunately, we live in a world where the next big idea is from the past and can be remade. While I would like to see more unique games being made from these big companies, I'm still not opposed to them. What I don't like seeing, though, is when people view a game as being bad or good simply because it's a remake. Looking through the reviews, it was clear who truly enjoyed the game and who wanted to enjoy it because it was from their childhood. Remakes and remasters, let's face it, they're here to stay. Games will continue to be remade, sometimes twice. But as long as you enjoy the game for what it is, that's what matters. Whether you played the original or not, games are just meant to be fun. Don't let nostalgia block you from what your real views on the game are. Who knows, maybe a game you played as a kid will not only be remade into something new for new players to enjoy, but also inspire them to create a new game based on it.